Boom. It is the POET of this rap shit, Charlie the Poet, representing for the overworked, underpaid, and most importantly, the real. And welcome to my podcast, Coffee with Charlie, where we sip the finest coffee and have the dopest convos. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Keep the thing up and alive. Now, you already know we got to give a special shout out to our sponsor of today's episode, Flavorful Brews, where their goal is to impact and elevate your coffee and tea experience while making a positive impact on the world. The link will be in the description below. You can use the code POET for 10% off. Again, POET for 10% off. Now, today's a special episode. We got a lot going on. Vibes Cartel sold out the Barclays 2 days in a row. And next week, we got WrestleMania. And that transitions to my guests, music artist, fellow WWE enthusiast, Mr. Devonte, a.k.a. Shea Buddah, is in the building. What's poppin', my brother?
I'm good, King, man. I'm happy to see you, man.
Likewise, bro. Thank you for coming to the podcast, man.
I'm glad I made it out, man. I'm glad, man. This is what I live for. This is the excitement, the love for this, the sport, man. It's just, it feels good, you know? And this is an alignment for me.
Definitely, it's a blessing. Thank you for coming to the podcast, my brother. Here at Coffee with Charlie, we do things differently, so I want to start off with a mental health check. How are you feeling?
I feel really good. I feel like through the cosmic forecast, feelings through just wavering, a lot of just the time, spring equinox, it feels good to just reset. And mentally, well, it is most importantly about what you tell yourself.
Absolutely.
And you gotta tell yourself you're worth it. Like, no matter what the fun's looking like, no matter what if the plans may have a delay, you just, like, even preparing for this, like, you may not have everything 100% prepared, but you just gotta tell yourself you're willing and able to be in the moment and just take everything in with a grain of salt, a good grain of salt, of course, you know, sea salt preferably, you know?
For sure. You know, as they say, any day above ground is a lesson and a blessing.
Yeah.
So let's go right into it, man. WrestleMania 41 is officially locked in. And with 2 stacked nights, it's time to make some predictions. Let's run through each match, talk winners, wild cards, and WrestleMania moments. So let's just start off right off the bat. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Who walks away the true tribal chief of WWE? Gotta start big.
It's OTC, of course, man. Like, who's the only tribal chief? Like, it's on the shirt for a reason, you know? The only tribal. But there's 2 other people at hand. We got CM Punk, we got Seth Rollins. And how it's been looking lately, I feel that Seth got something up his sleeve. There's a lot of favors going around.
Right.
Seth is like, now you owe me a favor. Paul is like he's split between all these alpha males, and they're all tugging at him at once. So I want OTC to win, but
going for Roman. I don't know, man. For me, I'm leaning towards CM Punk. I feel like this is CM Punk's redemption story. You know, especially with all of the controversy behind CM Punk. Shout out to CM Punk. This is his first time main event in WrestleMania, right? So just the pressure on that, the expectations that the fans are going to have. But like you said, Seth probably definitely does have something up his sleeve. And Roman, I think Roman has the most to lose out of this, right? Because he's really trying to maintain his crown and his position as the king. And we're going to have to see what happens.
I think they've been building a lot of his character arc. Not necessarily based on the undefeated tribal chief that he once was for 4 years straight.
Right.
I think it's mostly been about his character development, and I think they've been planning that for him as far as just the lengths of his character, not just that he's this big undefeated dude.
Right.
He is polarizing, but adding to his character is very important, because we saw that with Paul kind of being in between being by CM Punk's side and being by Roman's side, and you kind of see him going through that tussle of like loyalty, which has been the biggest theme of the past like longer than 5 years,
right.
But it's kept occurring, just that loyalty and the testing of his loyalty. So it might either be a character development moment out of somebody else winning, or the OTC needs to win. But who knows?
Right. Who knows? How much of an impact do you think Paul is going to play in this match? and do you think that there's going to be a surprise return from Lesnar? It's a lot of talk going around in the spreadsheets. Will Lesnar make a surprise return? I don't know. We're going to have to see.
Lesnar? Nah.
You don't think he's coming back? You think he's done?
If this is the talk, I think, you know how sometimes you're online and they post certain people like, oh, what is this? Are they trying to say that they don't show him much? And I think it's better that way if you're going to surprise Lesnar.
Right.
And I'm glad those conversations are very small. I need small conversations in my wrestling community because I'm from the era of surprises.
Right.
So, you know, so if that's the case, I'm going to be, sweat's going to be coming out my arms, my ears, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be like a fan and just be like, yo, we got all the Paul Heyman guys.
Right, in one ring, battling it out.
And then Paul Heyman is going to look more stressed out. You're going to see his collar upwards, his tie loose and everything.
Yeah, you know how Paul gives it up, man. Sorry, so let's transition to the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther versus Jey Uso. We've been witnessing both simultaneously, right? The rise of Gunther, the rise of Jey Uso.
Yeah.
The question is Jey ready to carry the goal solo, or will Gunther's dominance continue?
Team Yeet, first and foremost.
Yeet.
Team Yeet. All right? Shout out to Jimmy. You know, no team, no Yeet as well. But we talking about a match that has been built since Royal Rumble. And I think what has been very important about this match is that you have a guy that has been coming from a big storyline to being fitting in his own storyline of being a solo guy.
Right.
And that has been one of the most challenging things to see about Jey Uso building this momentum for his big win. Because we all know that he should win. It's just the momentum that we're talking about. You have a guy, Gunther, now only having a prestigious career, but after winning his World Heavyweight Championship belt, not kind of have so much big rivalries. And then you insert Jey Uso, the Royal Rumble winner,
right,
and you're trying to mesh their chemistry together and trying to see what that's like. So I love the turn now that they're doing, that he's more crashing out now. Like, okay, you once you take out my brother,
right,
like, I can't forget, like, God's gonna have to forgive me for what I'm about to do to you.
for sure.
And that's great. You know, Jey deserves, like, no matter how people like the momentum or what, we know he deserves the win. And Jey Uso is overly deserving of that. He just represents our culture, you know?
For sure.
Like, he's the son of Rikishi, you know, Samoan, but of black descendant as well. Like,
right,
he represents us to the fullest. And yeah, like, after Kofi Mania, we have one of the most deserving people that, you know, is a representation of us, and he deserves that win.
Absolutely. I agree, man. And I think just for character development, I think Jey Uso needed to make that turn and to show a lot of aggression, because, you know, there is a stigma that it's very difficult for single success when teams, you know, depart. There was also a lot of controversy being that Jey Uso wasn't main eventing WrestleMania. I believe this, and don't quote me if I'm wrong, guys, but I believe this may be the first time a Royal Rumble winner is not main eventing WrestleMania. What's your opinion on that?
I don't like it. I don't like it because Jey, he's really built such he's part of the It storyline.
Right.
That got asses in seats again for the new generation without The Rock and without Cena and without the big name heavy hitters.
That's true. I gotta put respect on Jay's name, man. Put respect on his name.
The best promos, you know, he's overly deserving, and Yeah, I mean, what? Listen, I was about to go off on a tangent, but what? Hold up. Take 7. But yeah, like he is most deserving of this. Like he was part of that like faction,
Right.
and he does deserve it. Like he should be on the top of the card. I think because they're worried about business.
Yeah.
And the momentum that was building, and not necessarily having the perfect writers for this, is kind of like inserting someone that has done a lot with story building in this sports profession. Story is everything, and you got a guy that has only been built on being undefeated. Right. I'm talking about Gunther.
Do you think that maybe they're kind of punishing? I don't want to use the word punishing, but maybe they're holding Jey to a lesser standard because when he had his match with Jimmy at WrestleMania, it was kind of underwhelming. That was the talk. So maybe there's some worry about him, delivering on such a larger scale at WrestleMania.
I think the man damn near posts him being in the gym every other, like, I think Jey is in his early 40s now.
Yeah. Like,
you talking about a man that could still, most of this new generation is in their 40s. AJ Styles, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre.
Right.
These dudes could go. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about what he's capable of doing, because he could do it. He flies out of the ring, gets back up. That's just the endurance you gotta have in this business or to perform a big main eventing match. But some matches, like I've seen some of my favorite wrestlers be in like a subpar match, but that shouldn't mean they shouldn't be practicing and they shouldn't be
used against them.
The fact that you don't even see Jey in a lot of matches lets me know that they've been working on the matches for him and Gunther, so that when it happens, when you see the tug of war of kickouts and like, he might get hit with a second power bomb and kick out, and everybody might be on their hands and feet, like knowing that Jey is about to win this. Right. So yeah, like he can go. Like he's deserving of this, and I don't think they should have.
Yeah, well, on YouTube they've been releasing a lot of old WWE matches, and I think they did a special where the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels was covering their WrestleMania match. I think it was the first one, and they were upset that their time got cut. And Taker and Shawn said to themselves, "Man, let's just go out there and steal the show." So, Jey, this is your opportunity to go out there and steal the show. Prove them wrong. We definitely supporting you.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go next. We got the Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Can Tiffany shine under the bright lights, or will Charlotte's legacy prevail?
Charlotte came out with a white tee and some jeans and a bracelet and some sneakers crashing out on Tiffany.
Charlotte is not playing no games, but it's in her blood. That nature boy, that woo.
She
got it in
her. Yeah. She's been in the chop dungeon ready, like just practicing, just getting ready for just her comeback. Like, I think, what I love about this business of just who you are and how you kind of have to navigate around energies of thousands of people. Right. Like, you kind of got to wing yourself around it. Like certain things can be accidents, but you kind of got to pick up on, like, this is what I love. Like, even when as this episode continues, I definitely want to talk about just how this is better than like just this brand of wrestling, like, it's better than Broadway.
The evolution of sports entertainment.
Yeah, it's better than Broadway and just regular shows and movies for me. But she had to navigate that, like, hate after trying to recover from like an injury that puts you through mental health. Like, every wrestler that's put on the shelf goes through that mental health of saying, oh my gosh, I missed the crowd, I missed the people. Right. Like, I want to just excite people in this profession, like, and to come back, like, and win the Rumble and then your first night back trying to have like a heart to heart, like you trying to talk boo, 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 and you kind of see the thug tear that want to come out, but she got to sink it right up her sockets because it's the name of it. Like you can't freeze up, and you got to kind of find where to lean towards now. Like you kind of got to reel people in. But Tiffany, when she saw that Charlotte was trying to do too much, I had to talk over a little bit, she took that one night and just, Tiffany's just that newcomer that's just saying, yo, I know about you. I did my research. I'm going to say this on television, and the crowd is behind me. Now, what you going to do? And Charlotte's a veteran. She better know what to do. I don't want her to freeze up from her divorce. I don't want her freezing up from her injury. Man. She should take all of that
and put it into the match
and be the best version of Charlotte Flair you ever seen. And that's what Waking Up Tomorrow is about, when you have a legacy and you got to go against this newcomer. Like Shawn had to do it with John Cena. Like, how am I going to go against this newcomer? Like, they got the cockiness, they got the swag. So she has to be like, nah, I've been here. Right. I'm gonna show something outside of me I ain't seen. So
who you going for though? I'm Team Charlotte, man. I'm Team Charlotte all the way.
I'm not mad at who wins. That's the thing.
Okay, so you regardless of who wins, man, wrestling wins.
They're too good. Right? They're so good. Tiffany's too good, and Charlotte is too good. Like, I think we seen the athleticism. You see the athleticism and emotion out of Charlotte. You're now getting to see the emotion from Tiffany more now. Yeah. So you want to see this new woman win, but you kind of seen this new side of Charlotte where she doesn't do much, especially this last week before Mania. That we're gonna be rooting for Tiffany, but I want Charlotte to show some remnants of, like, I'm here to stay. Like, I don't care that you knew, I'm here.
Definitely. Cement her legacy.
Yeah.
All right. So on to the United States Championship. We got LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. LA Knight, man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with LA Knight. I'm really impressed with Jacob Fatu. Mm-hmm. The question is this Fatu's breakout moment or LA Knight's defining title run?
Two greats right now, man.
Definitely holding it down for this new generation of WWE.
Two greats.
The Triple H era. Shout out to the game.
Yeah, shout out to Paul Levesque, man. Papa H. I'm gonna get on Papa H a little bit later in this episode. But man, you got two dudes that scratch and claw their way to the WWE and build so much momentum before they got here. So and they're so great at what they do. Microphone, they need that, right? Like, I hope they do that this SmackDown. Like, have a promo session, because they're both great on the microphone.
Absolutely.
Late Night had moments where he was in the ring and Jacob didn't say much, and he said something. Everybody was on. And then Jacob had those moments where he say everything from coast to coast. Yada, I mean, everybody just eats it up, you know, like it's a steak. And it's kind of like Charlotte and Tiffany for me. It's like, I don't really care who wins. Like, to me, because I love Jacob's momentum so much, I wanna see that big win for him. I want to see that big win. But I feel like Solo and Tama may have something to do with this match. Yeah. I don't know.
Do you think that there might be some resentment from Solo? You know, is Jacob kind of stealing the shine in the new tribal circle?
I think Solo, if I want to play into, because I don't want to pull the curtain back on a lot of things that I'm going to just go along and just like, hey, man, Solo wants to represent the family, man. You know, he put them on. He wanted to eat too, you know. I don't think he got a jealous bone in his body. You know, he's out. He's been pushing him this whole time. So Solo's gonna be right behind the curtain after he wins and just gonna hug him.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a lit match for sure. So we also got the tag team titles, man. War Raiders versus the New Day. The new version of the New Day, may I add. Will Experience and Legacy beat Raw Brutality? We got the vets, the New Days, going against the War Raiders. The War Raiders are vets in their own right, too. But, you know, they've been on a crazy run, definitely showing their aggression and whatnot. Can the New Day overcome?
I love that they even got a second chance at the titles.
Right.
And what I love about the New Day, like Kofi was one of the, like, even before coming into that, Kofi was just one of my biggest, like, for what we're even doing right now.
Yeah.
I think we've seen such a huge wave of just black podcasters getting to have a platform just to talk about not just wrestling, but to help push black wrestlers
Absolutely.
for their worth.
Yeah.
You know, their actual worth. Because we saw that through a mistake. Like, we saw it through a mistake because we were willing and able to be behind this person.
Right.
You know, and I think that's not just because of us, but because the people believe as a whole, as a fan base, believe in a black talent that does the work and actually can back it up. So with them being this new brand, this Bobbity Majin Buu. This Bobbity Majin Buu sort of like gummo that's happening. Yeah, like I think they deserve it because they've been building up so much now, and if they're willing to do anything to get the titles, especially since they've been doing it clean for so long, they just been off the grit and off their just resilience just to win the titles, and just for them to do it, you know, mischievously, just to get it done and kind of be like, we're tired of doing it the nice way now. Come on.
They're taking a stance. So who do you got for the match? You go with New Day?
New Day rocks.
Same here, man.
New Day doesn't suck. They rock.
New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
Yeah, they don't suck.
You know, speaking of black talent, man, Naomi, Jade, Cargill. Does Naomi's ring savvy trump Jade's powerhouse presence?
Another good person turned bad.
Right.
And it's one of us too. I love it. Because sometimes we, you know.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Naomi's been putting in the work. And, you know, Jade came in with a lot of hype. And I guess Naomi had to remind her, hey, we've been here setting the bar high in women's wrestling. I'm going to take you out.
She said, I'll let you eat. I gave you a little bit of the game as well.
Right.
But you taking a little bit of that shine too much from me. Like, and you taking Bianca away from me.
Right.
I gotta throw you off a ledge and into a car now. You know? I think,
literally, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like after seeing that, like she just said, okay, now you getting too, you know, you're getting too much now. You're getting like, come on, I need some of that. You know.
Do you think this is the heel turn that her character needed?
I think it's easy for people to kind of see that within a lot of good wrestlers because they want to see something new.
Yeah.
With her, I think for most of the heel turns, just in recent years, we don't really see it coming or kind of see like how would it look if it's good. Like it has to be good.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah.
Like she came out, admitted it, cried, weared a bedazzled neck bracelet, and just served. Like she really was having people at the palm of her hands just about just, I'm sorry, and I didn't want this to break us up. Like this is like, it goes back to me wanting to talk about how it's better than movies and Broadway. Like you gotta go out there, one take this shit.
Real talent, no days off.
One take,
no off season. Something
that you write up a week before and come out and cry in front of people and say, yo, this is me, this is who I am, this is the new version of me. And I think she's playing this so well. As much as I love both of them, I want Naomi to win.
Yeah.
because she has, I think, because she's been such a tag team girl for so long. She's been such a tag team girl. She loves the girlies, Baileys, the Carmella. Like, she's always been that for the women division. So I think her trying to elevate, just with her being a solo artist, like a solo performer, that this win would mean a lot for her, just for what the next year is gonna look like. Because most of these stars are looking at the next WrestleMania, and this will just elevate what her next year is gonna look like.
Absolutely, I agree, man. I'm also going for Team Naomi, so don't let us down. And then last but not least, we got Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Will Rey teach a lesson, or is this a passing of the torch?
Oh, no. How you gonna pass the torch to an American luchador, my guy? How you ain't gonna pass the torch to an American luchador,
so Rey gotta win this, pretty much. Rey gotta
talking
win
about? You don't know nothing about that. He ain't got no sriracha in his damn house. He got he probably got some. Yeah, he probably got some cayenne special. You know? But yeah, I think of course, Rey is a legend, and Rey deserves every win under the sun. I think what I would love to see is a clash of, I know we're just getting both of them, but I would love to see a clash of the LWO and American Made, just going at it. But yeah, I feel like since El Americo Grande, whatever he calls himself, is the new guy, I think they're gonna want him, or just his mischievous tactics, like he did with putting a metal plate in his mask and headbutting one of the, so I just want it to be interesting. I want Rey to win, but this would be interesting. No matter who it goes to, this will be an interesting match in general.
Definitely. We're definitely looking forward to see more. And then let's also quickly go over Sunday's card. So Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Can Cody cement his era, or will Cena prove it's not over yet? One of the biggest heel turns, I would definitely say, in the past 10 years. Easy. Cena's doing an amazing job.
I think, I don't know if anyone said it, but I think, I say one of is like, because sometimes we don't like to use the instant classic sort of thing. Like, some people use instant classic, and you kind of really don't see this level of heel turn from somebody really good. And a lot of them has been bad, or we've seen betrayal. Sometimes a betrayal was good. We wanted Becky to betray Charlotte to become the man, or we wanted, like we've seen we wanted Sammy to slam the chair to Roman because we wanted the goodness of it. But the downright bad, the downright, grittiness of it all, seeing Cena do that, to me, has to be the best. It's hard to even debate which one is the best. Like, to hug the person that you're supposed to be in cahoots with, or you're about to have a good match with, and you're just having the American Psycho smile, like, right over their shoulder, not knowing that not knowing in the hug you're about to be betrayed by this person that you looked up to. And just belittle him, and in the ring, just make him bleed, and just whip him with a belt, and hit him with a Rolex watch. I think Cena, Cena is just such a big staple to just my love of the profession since I was a kid.
Right.
Like later in my kid years, and like right around that teenage phase where you want to get muscles, and you want to collect more belts now. And, you got the figurines. Like, he was that for that era. And I think for him, for this farewell tour, I think the win for him means a whole lot. Some people even saying that. Well, I ain't gonna put it out in the air.
Nah, put it out in the air, man. Come on, man.
I ain't gonna
It's a Coffee with Charlie exclusive. Don't leave the people hanging. What are they saying? I think Cena, he has one more night before WrestleMania to just to talk and just to express himself. Yeah.
We either gonna see him kind of pull back or be betrayed by the people that gave him a seat at the table, like The Rock. But most likely, because people thought Cody was gonna change.
Right.
We all thought Cody was going to be the true American nightmare.
Right.
And be the Homelander that they all wanted him to be. But we still haven't seen the lengths of how evil Cena can be. We still haven't seen the, oh my gosh, not only we saw him just betray someone in the most evilest fashion, we have to have another, oh my gosh, like he's just getting worse.
Yeah.
He's going through extreme lengths to be, and that's kind of what you want. Like, you just don't want to kind of have the moment. You kind of want to have another moment to lead up after that first big moment of the heel turn. So whatever Cena is willing to do for WrestleMania, it's going to tug people's heartstrings a little bit more, because the win that he'll get won't be a traditional win that we've seen from him before. We ain't getting the traditional John Cena win. We're getting the, oh my gosh, this person is messed up. Yeah. And we're happy that he's a 70-time champ. But it's a little conflicting from how he got it. So, yeah, like Cena is going to go through extreme measures to get his next win.
You know, hey, I'm old school, man. I'm Team Cena. I'm Team Cena. You know, shout out to Cody, but I'm Team Cena. Let's talk about the Women's World Championship, right? We got Io Sky,
I was waiting
Bianca
for this
Belair, Rhea Ripley. Will Io escape with the title, or does power or speed prevail?
I was waiting for this one. I love all these three women. These are the current greats of the women division of the world, I'll say, of the whole climate of the women's profession. Of course, people will say Toni Storm as well. I love Toni Storm. But yeah, you see three powerhouse women that just led so much in this new generation coming from NXT, to a point where NXT was brought into the main show picture. Like these women, like, of course they can talk about the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn generation, but what they did, especially when they was in the Survivor Series picture, you saw these three women and you saw how amazing they were, and knew that they were main roster talent. They were that. They helped the new school of NXT talent be that. And they are that today, like with Braun Breaker and with Tiffany Stratton. Yeah. But this is about the three best women of that generation going at it. Like, everyone wanted Rhea and Bianca. Right. That was the dream match. But it feels good to persuade people's knowledge and emotion of what's like really deserving. Like, Io Sky is just as deserving. That shocks me,
man. She really, because I always thought that they were gonna kind of keep the belt on Asuka. But to see Io kind of prevail is, definitely inspiring, man. She's a great talent. She's been, putting in the work. I'd say that I think Bianca's gonna win that match, though. I think the title is coming home with Bianca. Who do you got?
Okay. I love all three of these women. It don't matter who wins.
It's another victory for wrestling.
Yeah, it's another victory for wrestling. But if I wanted Io to win, Asuka, I've been seeing Asuka and Kairi train. If they came out and they helped Io, oh my gosh, that would be such a big, that would be a big win. So yeah, Io, it's either Io and Bianca for me.
Got you.
Sorry, Ray.
And just because we're pressed for time, let's just get through the rest of these predictions so we could talk about some other topics. Some other topics in. Intercontinental champion, Braun, Penta, Balor, Dominic Mysterio. Who you got?
The Mr. Viral Spear himself, man. Viral Spear himself. Oh, Charlotte had one of the best compliments for him for one of those NXT premiums. He said, Braun Breaker will spear you so hard that your grandchildren will feel it. She said,
oh, man.
She knows about the spear, so when she said that to him, I was like, yeah, that was a great compliment.
For sure. I definitely don't want to, be on the receiving end. I Show Speed should be healed, though, right? See, he definitely took a crazy spare. But who you got? Who's winning that match?
He's not as childish as he used to be. He's very more mature now, But Dom, everyone is looking at Dom, and I'm not saying that I'm doing it off of the people's prediction, but you kind of see someone who's been very underrated, who's had such great storylines out of everyone. He's just been plateaued.
Been able to cement his own legacy and not just be looked at Rey Mysterio's son. Right, he's his own man now.
Moment after moment, maybe the past ever since he changed, like ever since he betrayed Edge and his father, like he's just made moment after moment after moment, and I feel like he's still that new talent, despite all the new talent that's in this match. Braun Breaker and Penta. Dom is the underdog, and I think in his recent matches, like you see him really push himself. Even with him and Gunther, like you see him push himself to be agile in the ring, to move, to be a champ, like to really move around the ring like a real champion. So I want to give it like.
You going with Dom? Think Dom's going to shock the world?
Yeah, he's gonna shock the world. Yeah.
Copy. For me, I think I'm gonna go with Penta. I feel like we can clearly see Penta's a Triple H guy, so they say, right? So I think Penta's gonna shock the world with his first WrestleMania win.
Yes, I love Penta.
The Women Tag Team Champion, Liv and Raquel versus Bayley and Valkyra. Who you got?
You see, I wanted Dom to him, right?
So we go.
They got it. Yeah, they got to come back. They got to come back to the clubhouse shining, man. They got to be shining when they come back to that clubhouse. I mean, our truth gonna be waiting with some pies or something.
Right. It's definitely gonna be interesting, right? Chemistry versus championship experience. I'm gonna go with Liv as well. I think Liv and Raquel are gonna put out a surprise win. Then we got the Sin City street fight. McIntyre versus Priest. Who you got? I'm going with McIntyre.
Yo, McIntyre, he's the hybrid for a reason, and I love both of these men. Like, I'm from New York. It's kind of hard when you root against someone that's from New York. So I love these. You just love these two guys so much at what they do. I think everyone wants Drew McIntyre to kind of redeem himself after all the CM Punk losses, and CM Punk betrayed him.
He got a chip on the shoulder.
CM Punk betrayed him out of every title opportunity he's been in. So everyone really wants to see the Drew. Like, it shows that it's very deserving, but Damian Priest is just as deserving for the win because he's been the world heavyweight champion. He's made moments with his former members, even with R-Truth, and like his accolades since he won the belt has just been great. Even since the San Juan street fight with Bad Bunny, he's just proved himself to be that guy. They're both deserving. It's kind of hard to choose because I love them both, so I ain't gonna choose one.
Another win for wrestling. And then last but not least, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Logan shocked the world, man. Logan's definitely been doing a great job for WWE. I salute him. Sometimes as WWE fans, we could be a little critical of, celebrities stepping into the squared circle. But Logan, he's impressive, man. He's really been putting in the work. Can he beat AJ Styles?
He can, they can dance very well in the ring together. Like, of course he could beat AJ Styles. I think it'll be a dance just to get the actual win. Like, he ain't just gonna get an easy win. I think because we've seen Logan Paul get a lot of wins through like low routes. Like, we've seen him take a lot of low route wins.
Yeah.
So I think this win would be very, like, because he's a full-timer now, I think to kind of solidify that, you can either say, okay, we're used to him taking the low route, or like he made a clean win. Right. You know, like, he kind of wants to show that he's like a serious wrestler. And
yeah, he's definitely taking it serious, for sure.
And he got the moves. The pulverizer, that pulverizer move is something else. Mm-hmm. That shit is like $50 plate foods, you know. that shit is really good. So I'm rooting for him, man.
You rooting for Logan?
I'm rooting for Logan, man. And I love AJ Styles.
Shout out to AJ, man. I'm team AJ, man. I'm you know, it could be a passing of the torch moment as well, but I think AJ has another run left in him, and I definitely would love to see AJ get another shot at the title, man. Been a fan of him since the TNA days.
Okay.
For sure.
One of the best.
But this was definitely a dope WrestleMania prediction segment, and now we can move on and let's talk the ting. So, Devonte, real quick, the controversy between Booker T and this other guy. What's his name? I don't remember his name. Swerve. Shout out to Swerve. No disrespect, Swerve. I haven't really been in tune with AEW. I know he was in WWE. He's definitely killing it in AEW now. But you know, there was some controversy because, you know, Swerve made some comments in regards to King Booker. You know, somebody who's definitely paved the way, right, for African Americans to thrive within this business. And you know how it is on Vlad TV. Sometimes things get misconstrued, and you know, there's the clickbait post and whatnot. But it's really been causing some tension. I want to know what's your opinion on that.
What did he say?
So Swerve basically said that the advice he got from Booker T was to not make it about race, just, you know, focus on your talent. And Swerve's issue was Swerve felt like, you know, there was some bias from Triple H towards his career. As they said, the reason why they got released from WWE, aside from them just making budget cuts, were there was like a plane schedule issue. One of their members didn't get her flight information, so they were checking in. They wanted to call a meeting with McMahon. McMahon didn't take too kind to them being newbies and wanting a meeting. You know how Vince McMahon is. And, you know, Vlad spoke on that, and Swerve just kind of felt like Booker T was a sellout. I guess he kind of felt like he wasn't getting the support that he wanted throughout that ordeal between him and Triple H.
I mean, Vince, I think Vince always had like a hand in, I think, you know, people would say Vince was very supportive of black talent in wrestling. But, yeah, like, you can see both sides. Like, when you win, you win. But, and I think, like, because I only know but so much of that whole ordeal. Yeah. We've seen the plight of black wrestlers in the span of 2 decades be, you can only count on one hand. Right. You know, out of 2 decades. We can go off of that, and then other people will be like, you know, Swerve is just being messy, you know? But you can still see both sides. Like, sure. I don't have a horse in the race with what they're saying. But we're important, you know, especially when you're great. When you're talking about I just brought up Kofi not too long ago. Off of a mistake became one of the biggest things. How he lost it was not great. Right. But knowing the momentum, seeing the crowd and how much people was behind him, you kind of got to see it for yourself to know that it's actually there. Some people in those rooms will go off of a certain metric and not necessarily pay attention to how much people are behind the black talent, not just black people, but people of the culture of wrestling in general. And we wouldn't seen Bianca be one of the faces of the women division if it wasn't for that, and we still kind of need to see more plights of that besides Kofi being that and Bianca being that for the past recent years. We kind of want to see that again. So yeah, like there has to be some truth in both ways. You got to work hard. Like the Street Profits had to work their ass off through Lashley leave it and like doing like 5-star matches and not winning them and just to be the champions again. And like that's kind of what made the New Day so great individually, because they did the work. They promoted the brand. And when they all had like a W in their own perspectives, Biggie being the world champ, Kofi being world, Woods being king of the ring, like he's right. Like you gotta put work behind it, but there's only but so much work that we should be doing for how great we really are.
Absolutely.
There shouldn't be no longevity to it when you just know and see it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And and one thing's for sure, man, we definitely need more unity. There's been too much divide and conquer. So, I'm pretty sure eventually Swerve and Book will, put their differences aside and
better.
And you know how that go. But so we got what's going on in your world, man. Let's update the people.
There as much as I do want to get into more wrestling talk, I've been working a lot on the music and just being good at it. Like I kind of don't want to give away all of what's to come.
Right.
But yeah, you got to stick this thing out. Like I was hearing Jonathan Majors not too recently talking about how he dedicated since he was 11 to 25 to the craft.
Wow.
Like not necessarily being outside and kind of having like that social life. Like he was so dedicated to the craft, even though he still had his moments of fun and family, and like he dedicated most of his life to the craft, and that's why he's so good at what he does, to kind of like not necessarily know or pay attention to social media and understand so much of just what not to do when you actually become that public figure. Like he don't even have a social media account, so it's kind of like having to navigate and do that and be that person. He's learning on the fly, so for me, I'm been taking a lot of that time, like for myself as an artist, like just developing the craft. Like I'm only 31 and I've dedicated this since high school, and I just appreciate the craft so much that in your own perspective journey, you got to know where you going with this, not because you got to feed people, but you got to know where you going as far as, okay, what's your best, what's your weaknesses, what you have to improve on. And I had to improve on a lot, so it's happening, but y'all just gonna have to wait and see about that.
You guys heard it here, man. Definitely. And then since you said you wanted to also just kind of end off on some wrestling talk, what are two topics you wanna get into?
I throughout the episode I was talking about how I do want to talk about dream matches. I do, okay. But I most importantly want to talk about why wrestling is so better than Broadway and shows and movies.
All right, so let's start with that, man. Wrestling, the evolution of WWE. I mean, I got WWE tatted. I've been a wrestling fan since I could remember, man. Just collecting wrestling toys and to see the different eras and the impact that it's on now, right? We got Rock. Unfortunately, Vince had to step down. Triple H is, in control of, creative. What does it mean to you, man, seeing the evolution and all these transitions?
Very good. I love the, even for people that don't know, they just see from outside, like what they doing this week, what city they in,
Wrestling is on damn near every day now.
Yeah, it's that club that you just like. Even being here, it's a privileged thing to do. It's a club like I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for the podcast podcast platforms, especially black dominated podcasts.
For sure.
Shout out to Jabba Tiz podcast.
Shout out to Jabba Tiz. Shout out to Jabba Tiz, man.
Those wrestling girls as well. I love them as well. And yeah, just the representation and being that club, it means everything, especially when it's from young people. In a culture where we was the one that's like, because this ain't real. Like, you kind of got to hear from young people like, it ain't UFC, man. It ain't like they really. But when you pay attention to it, it's like the best of both. It's like there's pain, but there is. But if you like the acting world, like there's stories, like you get to see stunt people be characters, you know, play it safe or play dirty, you know.
Yeah.
And kind of cultivate that every week. And why I want to say that it is better than the average movie or the average show or Broadway is that Broadway people have to rehearse weeks in advance. Even people that got to prepare for like a big concert, a tour, like they have to prepare these things week in and week out and make sure. You talking about matches every week, a new match, not the same match, a new match, a new story, a different line every week, and having to memorize these things on a weekly basis. And then when somebody gets injured, you gotta have to scrap the whole story and come up with one within a week or days tops, you know?
Yeah.
Just to keep the program going. And that's kind of like the dedication you gotta have to this genre. And like, it's so important and there's so much potential to the entertainment landscape. Like, it would probably sweep up a lot of these, you know, these Emmys platforms and these platforms, the Golden Globe platforms, so much that they had to create their own award show because when you got to do this week in, week out, you know, not take a break like shows do when they take, after the season's done, they take a break, you know, to come up with a whole, they creating a story every week. And if somebody's hurt, you got to come up with a new story on the fly, days, weeks, tops.
It is definitely a fast-paced business, and we salute and thank all the hard-working men and women who contribute to this wrestling platform, both in the WWE, AEW, across the seas, internationally, and even the indies. You know, we got to salute. It's a craft, it's a talent, definitely much respect. And let's end it off with a dream match, man. One dream match.
Hold up, I do gotta say something important. Dream matches can be last, but I gotta shout out Papa H. I want wrestling to be done in Africa. I want, because it's so, the talent, Nigerian talent, Uganda talent.
Absolutely.
They're doing numbers like crazy, just for their independent scene. And like you said, indies is important as well. There is just so much ilk. There's just so much wrestling history in Africa that they need to have a tour, or they need to have a big premium there, because, you know, as the time goes, like I'm speaking with my best friend in training. I love her so much. And we're talking about just how much stadiums are in Africa. You know, that holds 40,000 people.
Wow.
That holds 90,000. We saw what Chris Brown did for his South Africa. He held nearly 90,000 people at one of the top stadiums. And that's what they've been about when it comes to putting asses in seats. And Africa actual show.
Yeah, and I think it'll be influential to not only to the culture of wrestling, but it'll be a great impact just for the African diaspora. Yeah. Right? Because sometimes, especially for the young ones, sometimes we got to see it to believe it. And just having, you know, WrestleMania or a wrestling show out there will definitely drive that inspiration behind so many young women and men. So Triple H, do the right thing. Let's have a WrestleMania event or a wrestling show.
And Oba's the next guy. Oba is Nigerian descent.
Yeah, shout out to Oba. He's been putting in a lot of work. NXT 2.0, very impressive. It's a lot of talent.
So when
like
he becomes the it guy,
yeah,
when they go out there, it's gonna mean so much. It's gonna mean so much. Absolutely.
All right, let's end off with a dream match. What type of match is it, and what's the stipulation? Who are the wrestlers?
My favorite wrestler's out right now. As much as I love Jey Uso, I'm a big Jey Uso supporter. My favorite wrestler is out, and Ilya Dragunov, man. Ilya Dragunov, him versus, we seen him in Gunther already. We seen him in Braun Breaker. Him versus Velveteen Dream.
Shout out to Velveteen Dream. We need him back, man.
Him versus Velveteen.
Undeniable talent.
Undeniable talent. There was this another Riddle. Even Ilya Dragunov versus Riddle.
Yeah.
Like, Riddle is still in his prime. Like, the guys that aren't there, the guys that had so much like chaos in their like personal life that are so good, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like Ilya, he's that talent. He's that once in a generation talent that would just go good with anyone he's in the ring with. And he did that. Like, he always did that in any match. Even with Dom, like he had that with Dom, and they had like a 5-star match. So yeah, my guy Ilya, man, I miss him.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out, speedy recovery.
Yeah,
definitely
man.
Can't wait to see when you get back. For all those who got WWE 2K25, let's recreate that dream match. But Devonte, thank you for coming to the podcast. It's a blessing. I appreciate you, my brother. We definitely got to do a part 2 to this.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you?
Instagram, Shea Buddah, SHEA.Buddah on IG. Same thing on Twitter. Facebook is still Devonte St. Clair. You know, for the people that want to add me on Facebook. I have a TikTok that's on Shea.Buddah. Like, I would love to see what we did today on TikTok.
Absolutely.
You know, and on IG. And yeah, like, thank you for staying connected. Thank you for listening to anything. Like, it's a privilege to be a part of this culture, so thank you for appreciating any word I said. And yeah, God bless you.
100%. And if you're in New York City, WrestleMania weekend, Legends Bar, Jabba Tears, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a movie. Another dope episode, Coffee with Charlie, where we drink the finest coffee and have the dopest convos. Make sure y'all tune in. Bow.